This is the IELTS listening test, created and published by IELTSonlinetests.com 2025. You will hear a number of different recordings and you have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 parts. At the end of the test, you will be given 2 minutes to check your answer. Now turn to part 1.
Part 1. You will hear a man inquiring about joining a club. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 7. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 7.
Hello, South City International Club. How can I help you?
Oh, good morning. I want to find out about joining the club.
Right. I can help you there. I'm the club secretary, and my name's Mary.
Hi, Mary. My name's Jim Hunter. Can you tell me about the events you have there?
Sure. There are several events here. Let me give you some details. First of all, we have a library. You can use all the facilities there, and opening times are from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Thank you.
Just to note, there's a deposit of $15 for using the library, which is returnable, of course, as long as there's no damage.
That sounds fine. What else do you have?
Well, we also have an ice skating center, which is next to a telephone booth. The admission fee is $3. It's only open on Sundays. Also, we have a special offer for new members. If you come to the center with a guest, then the guest can experience one class for free.
That is really a big attraction for me. I remember walking past there yesterday. I saw a poster about swimming. Do you have any swimming classes?
Yes, that is a new class. It starts on the 16th of October.
Right. Is it very expensive?
Well, the joining fee is only $1. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's recently gone up by $2. So it's now $3 for each person. And we don't provide any swimming suits here, so you need to bring your own.
I see. What about dance lessons? You mentioned that you have classes once a week.
Yes, the dance classes are very popular here. It's a little expensive. The joining fee is $5, but that includes free drinks. We open all day, and you can bring your own water and food.
Well, it's still more expensive than I thought. I'm a student here and I'm only here for 6 months.
Ah, then we offer you a great way to learn about Britain. We usually visit the Grand Hotel, a historical site, but this time we are going to the local museum. The joining fee is $3. It is open between 10:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. during weekdays, and on weekends, it's half an hour earlier.
That should be all right. I could come in my free periods.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 8 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 8 to 10.
By the way, I'm quite interested in tennis. I enjoy playing with my friends after work. Do you have tennis events I could join?
No, I'm afraid we don't. Perhaps you are thinking about North City Center. They've got a lot of events we don't have, and vice versa. But we organize events such as movie watching, as long as there are over 30 viewers, and we have a lecture every 4 weeks.
Do you have any yoga classes?
Yes, we do have some yoga lessons, but the timetable is still in discussion. However, we arrange a Saturday excursion every month. You can come and check it out.
Great. I heard there would be other outdoor activities, like a tour or something.
Yes, that's right. We will offer a night city tour if you are interested. And as well as that, there's a cultural evening event once a month.
That sounds good. But it is a pity that there's no tennis at your club.
I will pass on your feedback to management. So if you would like to join in the club, you need to fill out a form and pay $108 if you are over 19 and $95 if you are under. Both will need to be submitted to the club office. They will help you apply for the membership card.
Okay, thanks for that information. I think I have all I need for now.
Thank you for calling South City International Club. Bye.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turn to part 2. Part 2.
You will hear a railway station staff member introducing the activities that passengers can do while waiting for their trains. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 15. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 15. Dear passengers, welcome to Fitchton Railway Station. I'm sorry to inform you that the train to London is delayed. It will take off 2 hours later at 11:45 a.m. Please accept our apologies. In the meantime, allow me to introduce Fitchton Railway Station so you can make the most of your time while waiting for the train. The main entrance of the station is on Fitchton Road. If you want to take a bike ride around here, walk down Fitchton Road and past the taxi stop. You can find a bike rack on the right. But if you just want to stay in the station, it's okay. You can find a luggage locker when you enter the station. It's on the left. You can put your luggage there. If you don't feel very well, or you need to buy some medicine, there's a chemist in the farthest corner of the station, opposite to the cafe. And you can have a cup of coffee at the cafe if you want. The big area near the cafe is the waiting room, where you can have a seat and relax. If you want to use the toilet, make a left when you enter the station, then turn right. Go straight until you walk past platform 2. It's right there at the end. The news agency is in the southeast corner of the station. Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 16 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 16 to 20. If you don't want to stay in the station, you can also have a look around the station, but make sure to get back in time for the train. I'm sure you don't want to miss it. The Fitchton College is within walking distance from the station. The view is quite good there. The town library is also just down the road if you want to read. Oh, there's also an art exhibition at the moment. You can go and check it out. The store across the street opens throughout the day, and you can find all kinds of stuff there. You don't want to buy any gifts for your friends there, though. Most items would be difficult to carry on a bike. But our local food is something I recommend. It would be too late if you want them once you are on the train. You can buy some at the foodies shop, which is right next to the station. If you're looking for anything to wear during the trip, you'd better go to the department store, but I'm afraid there isn't enough time for that. You can send some postcards with local pictures on them to your friends and family. You can buy them in the community college which is near the museum. The old cinema behind the museum cannot compete against the new theatre in the shopping centre, so the current owner plans to make it an accommodation block instead. In the back of the train station you can see a statue of Richard Trevalt, a local government minister who is famous for completing a lot of construction projects in our city. Again, I'd like to remind you the train will leave at 11:45. Please get back in time, and I hope you enjoy your time at Fitchton. That's the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turn to part 3. Part 3.
You will hear Tim and Jenny, 2 students, talking about their geography assessment. First, you'll have some time to look at questions 21 to 25. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
Hi, Jenny. Hi, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm okay, but I'm really stressed out about our geography assessment next week. Have you done any work on it yet?
I've looked at it a little bit, but it would be helpful to discuss it with someone else. Do you want to chat about it with me?
That would be great. Do you know what the rules are for the test?
For our assessment last term, we were all required to collect raw data in order to achieve a pass. However, this term the tutor has said that it won't be necessary for us to do this.
I read through the notes and they said that we are all going to be given a set of instructions that we can choose to follow if we wish, but it's not mandatory, and we can complete the exam as we wish.
I don't think that the rules will be too strict. As long as we don't copy the answers from anyone else's exam paper, I think we'll be sure to pass.
Yes, I agree. Shall we put together a slideshow presentation with information on all of the volcanoes? I think it will really help us to revise the facts.
Okay, great. Let's start with Pompeii. It's the most well-known of all the volcanoes, so it should be easy to find lots of information about it online.
I'll avoid including some of the images in the presentation, as many people were killed, and some of them can be quite disturbing. We're lucky to have a double free period today, so we will have plenty of time to revise this together.
Okay, next up is Mount Fago. This is an ancient mythical volcano, the location of which is unclear. There are mountainous regions in both Mexico and the USA, both of which are rumored to be the site of this volcano.
It's not very scientific to list two separate locations for one volcano, but since no one has been able to prove which is the correct one, we're left with no choice. It's interesting that there is no other example of a volcano in existence today that is surrounded by so much mystery.
Absolutely. I think we should include some information about Mount Etna in Sicily, which is famous for the stunning panoramas that one can appreciate from its peak. According to Google, it's a relatively new volcano compared to others in the surrounding region, which may be why it has very few of the features found in older volcanoes.
Oh, how interesting.
Shall we include information on Mount Hurton? I don't think that any of the other students have carried out much research into it, even though it has a lot of unique features.
I think we should leave it out. Since it's a man-made volcano, it's not that relevant to our syllabus, and probably won't be included in any of the exam questions.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 26 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
Have you gotten feedback from your tutor on your presentation last week?
Yes, I have, but I don't think he was very impressed. He was satisfied by the amount of research that I had prepared before I started, but he criticized the fact that I was mostly summarizing the facts instead of giving my own opinion.
Oh, that's a shame.
It was frustrating that he criticized my work, but in the end I learned a lot from my tutor's feedback. He advised me that next time I should present my work as a short documentary film, which he thinks will help me to strengthen my arguments. What topic was your presentation based on?
I chose to write about the lack of knowledge that most people have about volcanoes, and the fact that they see them in such a negative way. During documentaries and lectures, the scientific experts often neglect to mention the many positive features that volcanoes possess.
That sounds really interesting. Well done.
I think everyone enjoyed watching, but I was really nervous about talking in front of an audience. I also felt very underprepared, since I didn't finish writing the presentation until the night before, and therefore had no time to rehearse it.
I'm sure it was great. Is there any other information that you think we should include in our slideshow for revision?
Yes, I think it's important that we list all of the differences between active and extinct volcanoes, as there will definitely be a question on this topic. There are no documentaries on the subject, but there's a very informative website that discusses the geological structure of each volcano type.
Okay, well, I'll continue collecting images and you can carry on with the online research.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turn to part 4. Part 4.
You will hear part of a lecture about the study on Australian crocodiles. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40. Around 10 years ago, Australia Zoo, the University of Queensland and Queensland Parks and Wildlife undertook a project to monitor the movements and behaviour of the crocodiles in Lakefield National Park. The aim of the study was to provide better information on how adult crocodiles there interact within a river system, enabling people to have better decisions on how to manage crocodile populations. This project can lead the world in crocodile management because of the use of satellite, which enables scientists to stably receive accurate information being sent back to them on the computer. Even though the crocodiles can travel very long distances, scientists can still know where they are and study their habits. The study is going to help scientists gain further knowledge on crocodile behavior, which can help make informed decisions on the management plans for crocodiles, not only in Australia, but around the world. Crocodile tracking isn't a new idea in Australia. Crocodile studies have been previously conducted by radio. A miniature electronic device was implanted under the skin of these animals, and they were released back into the river. These tags enabled scientists to track the movements of these particular crocodiles over the next 10 years. Of course, there are some unexpected challenges. The data transmitted from each receiver is recorded by some devices employed in the receiving stations. However, some devices are too old that they always lose signals due to a variety of reasons. So they can't track those animals which they have been studying for months. In order to study the crocodiles, they must first be captured so that the device can be put on them. But this is a very difficult task, because they are alert and afraid of being followed by humans. So it might take the team several hours to capture one. The tracking device has signal transmitters inside, and it's waterproof. It is attached to the head of the crocodile, so the crocodile cannot remove the device with its feet or tail. The research has begun to reveal the movements of crocodiles. Data showed that crocodiles tend to be more active at night time. The GPS sometimes shows that in some areas the crocodiles are overpopulated, so scientists at the park have to use a helicopter to relocate the crocodiles in order to control their population in the area. A crocodile would be taken many kilometers away from its original place. However, scientists found that the relocation methods were ineffective because the relocated crocodiles will return to their original location following the most direct route within 1 week. The tracking data shows that the crocodiles swim right back to where they came from when moved. Crocodiles sometimes travel hundreds of kilometers from Indonesia to Australia in order to reproduce. It is interesting to see that they can always find their way and they will not get lost in the ocean. Scientists realized that crocodiles are able to navigate. This is an important ability for them when they have to migrate for very long distances. We may wonder if human beings can learn from the crocodiles and find our way without using technology. However, through lots of research and experiments, scientists conclude that crocodiles can tell directions by using their senses to the sun, so that they know where they're going. This is an ability which human beings don't possess. Another finding is that, like the migration of birds who can travel thousands and thousands of kilometers, crocodiles have the same system to help them travel. The research is still going on in northern Australia. Scientists are working hard to gather more information about this amazing creature. That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
That's the end of the listening test. You will now have 2 minutes to check your answers.